Thank you guys for clicking on the video. We are back. I know it's been over a week since my last video. I know. I'm not going to try and excuse it. I'm not going to try and rationalize it. I apologize, guys. I apologize. That's all I can say. That's all I can do from my end. I apologize. But let's not dwell on it. Let's focus on what we have here to start off. We're going to jump right in. Muzzin and a third-round pick, a trade between LA and Tampa Bay. But we're going to get back to the simulating, and, I actually received a couple comments just about possibly trading Giroux away. And, I think... Here's what I think about potentially trading people away, especially the core pieces where their contracts are going to get pretty dicey. Like, Giroux at 8 point is pretty expensive, especially what we have coming up. We need to sign in the offseason. Voracek, he is also up there. Where is he? Right here, 5 years at $8 million. I mean, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And so, there was talk about, the comments sort of suggested, well, we should sort of look to trade. And I think that's true depending on how the rest of the season plays out. Because, I mean, this team has done really well. Really well. The President's Trophies, 1 Stanley Cup. I think we made it to 3 Stanley Cups out of 4 years. Or not 3 Stanley Cups, but we've won the President's Trophy 3 straight times. And we have lost the potential Stanley Cup winner once. I don't know. I forget about the other time off the top of my head. But we've had really good success. And so I think this year, I think this group deserves one more shot. And then after this year, let's see what happens. Let's see what's available. We'll try and move some pieces for contract reasons. Because, again, Seth Jones is coming up. We also have Moore, and he's going to want a little bit of a pay upgrade. The defense as a whole is coming up slowly. You have Luik, he's coming up. He's going to want a pay raise. I mean, so these are the things we have to think about. And so, but I think right now on paper, this team deserves to stay together at least one more shot. Let's give them one more shot to see how they do. So we're going to simulate on. We're going to try and get trade deadline. Trade deadline, March 1st. That's doable. January, February. 2 months, 2.5 months of simulating. Back-to-back, we win against Arizona. Vancouver is actually tied for the President's Trophy with Tampa, so this is a good benchmark for us. We lose 6-5. I don't know if it was an overtime loss, to be sure. But, again, we're a late starting team. That's why I said we start late. We don't start out. We struggle out of the gate, and but as long as we maintain a playoff spot, and anything can happen in the playoffs. And we lose 4-3, but that was an overtime loss. So I'm going to give Mason a rest, trying to give Tomek some time because I would like for him to progress. The more you play him, hopefully he can improve. So I would like to get him some ice time, see how he does. And you see Minnesota is last in the Central. And actually, we may... let's let him play for the back... Actually, yeah, let's let him go. We lose against Minnesota. We're going to let him go against the back-to-back against Dallas, and then we'll switch him out. So we lose 7-4. It's weird because it seems like... Some nights it seems like it's defense, then other times it seems like it's... Well, there we finally win 3-0. It seems like we don't have a consistent theme. I mean, for our team, and what I mean by that is it the offense or is it the defense? Because some nights it seems like we can't really score. Then other nights it seems like we can't keep the puck out of the net. Goals, we're scoring the most goals and we're giving up a lot of goals. That's what it seems. And shots against in a game, I think that means we give up the most shots. I think so. So I may change the tactics. You know, let's see. Let's check with the defense. See. I mean, I don't really know. Maybe we try and change the lines. Do we bump Luik up to the first line? I don't know. I don't know. But we need to get some simulating done. We need to get some simulating done. Voracek is he's in like a 6-way tie for second in the league with assists at 27. Zucker points. He's trying to fight there. So is Voracek. We win 7-2. So there, like I said, against Anaheim, they're struggling. But again, you know, it's like some nights I feel like our defense doesn't show up, and then some nights the scoring isn't there. And so, I mean, maybe, I don't know, man. Maybe because Mason's on that decline, this is inevitable. You know, Mason's getting up there. He's not the young gun he used to be. I mean, it could be, I don't know. It just could be that the defense is still really young, but so is, and Mason's getting older. And now that Mason's getting older, he's not the player he was. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to overreact to make a trade or something because there we win 5-1 against Colorado. Now Colorado is struggling at sixth in the Central, but I don't want to make a trade just to like change it up for no reason. This is a good battle against Florida. They're fourth in the Atlantic, trying to make a playoff appearance, and we lose 4-3, and I think that is an overtime loss. So we're just gonna see what what happens here. The game has to simulate. All right, so that's it for the month. And then we're playing Tampa Bay. That's going to be a good test for us coming up. We should probably check the farm system here shortly. But Tampa Bay has been doing really well. They're 11 points ahead of us. And I think this may be the year where we definitely won't catch for the President's Trophy. It would take quite a run. Even compared to what we pulled off last year, it would take quite a run. I mean, I feel like the offense is there, but I sort of am lost as to what can turn around our defense or at least grow their potential, because it would seem like the defense is there. And I say that we win 4-0 against Tampa Bay. We shut them out, and that's a pretty big achievement. So if we keep on going, I mean, I feel like this team is I feel like they're too good not to make the playoffs. I think if we didn't make the playoffs, that would be a drastic underachievement. So we win 6-2 against Winnipeg. Winnipeg and Voracek and Zucker leading the way, and that's why I was saying, we get 44 shots, but again, that was the thing, that we give up the most shots, 31. And I think that should concern us a little bit going into the playoffs. And we erupted for 4 goals in the third. Zucker on the power play, and even strength, we were 2 for 4 on the power play. So I don't know what to do. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna panic. I'm not going to. Again, I don't think a trade is in order. Um, I don't think a trade is in order. I just think that I don't know. I probably should stop talking and just see how it plays out because I think we've been playing really well. We beat Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay sort of fallen off, and now Toronto has come back strong after a couple years of rebuilding. It seems like that's finally over. And then we lose 8-4 against Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh is tied with us. And so I think the way it's shaping up in the Metropolitan is it's going to be New York, Philadelphia, and Pittsburgh. Barring like anything crazy, barring a colossal collapse by us. But Washington could make that play, but with almost halfway through the season, they're going to have to start making their push relatively soon here. So we'll see. Just watching, waiting to see what happens versus Columbus. We lose 4-3. I mean, I will say it's tough. It's sort of tough not to get down about the team and what I feel like compared to what we've had during the regular season success. It's hard. It's easy to get down, but really, I mean, we're pretty much in that upper tier in the NHL. If you look, we won against Toronto. If you look at, we have a trade though. Hold on before I finish that thought. Ryan Miller is going to Arizona, and Buffalo will receive this young left wing. So a good trade. I guess was it Boss? Oh, Buffalo was looking to add more depth to the left wing. But as I was saying, if you look across the NHL right now, like let's just go to standings, and let's just go standings, and let's look at right now. Let's just go to the league. This is easiest. So there's this tier right here where it sort of separates, where you have these 7 teams are pretty much bumping each other for upper NHL success. Of course, you have the Tampa Bay and Lightning in another tier, but then you have Toronto all the way down to, like, let's say Nashville, even St. Louis and Montreal. That's pretty much the top tier. And then you have the rest of the NHL, and we're 5th. And I think for us, we want to maintain that success that we've had in the past with winning President's trophies, but at the same time, it's really not. Is it really that realistic to expect that we win every year as at the President's Trophy? I don't think so. I don't think it's realistic, and I don't think we should get down. I think this is a good season. There's only one team that's going to win the President's Trophy, and I think for us, the lasting legacy of this team is, I think Giroux, Voracek, that core, Couturier. Another Stanley Cup is more important than just just another President's Trophy. So we'll see. I mean, this season around too, Zucker is coming around. He's 3rd in the league in scoring, 2nd in points, but Crosby again killing it. He is just he's in a class of his own. And it's interesting, I don't think we've seen, like, I've always talked about in all the GMs I see the Capitals struggling. I don't know why. And I don't recall the last time we've seen Ovechkin throughout this whole series in a top um a top 10, or we haven't seen him in the top 7 scoring. So yeah, it's interesting. Riley on the move. Washington will receive him from Toronto. The development report. Seth Jones screening is up. I don't really know why Seth Jones would ever need to work on screening. Let's check the... where's the training? Seth Jones, physical. I'm going to put Seth Jones on defensive training. And also Nicholas, I'm going to put on defensive training. His defense needs to improve. And for goalie training, let's try and get Tomek some time too. So I think we'll go with that. Yeah, I think we'll move with that. So the lines, let's check. We'll put Mason back in net, and we'll try and storm through February. We'll try and see what happens. Sorry, guys, I'm back. Sorry, I had to take a phone call. But anyways, big game against Washington. We lose 5-2. Hopefully we can rebound against Minnesota. I hope so. I really do. I think we could use the W. We could use the win. Because Washington actually is starting to creep up there, and so is Columbus. So, it's anything could happen, and we're only 3 points ahead of like Buffalo for the wild card. So, it's anything could happen. Anything could happen. So, I think for us, we need to start winning games as we lose to New York. We need to win games that we should win. We lose to the Islanders. They're 8th in the Metropolitan. Should we really be taking L's against them? But then we come back a big game against Washington, and we beat them. So we're trying to get to the end of February. Barkov, Pasternak signs extensions with Buffalo. It seems like a lot of people are signing extensions. Excuse me. Cece remains in Ottawa. At the bottom of your screen, you can see. And then we pick up another win. So that drives us... actually, another win against San Jose. So that drives us first in the Metropolitan. And we're 3 back at Tampa Bay, 2 back at Toronto overall in the East. And then we are also 13 points behind Vancouver. And I just don't see us matching Vancouver. They're playing on another level. So McDavid inks another extension with Edmonton. Actually, I want to see what McDavid's career is looking like in this system, because McDavid, we lose to St. Louis 6-3. McDavid, let's see what he signed for. He signed for 5.6 each. Ryan O'Reilly is traded to San Jose for Marcus Johansson and Ben Bishop and a 7th round pick. So that's a little bit of a game changer. Marcus is on the move again. Man, after that stint with us, he has been on the move quite a bit. And let's check McDavid. Let's just see how he's done career-wise in this game. So he's definitely earning his money. I mean, I would have thought they would have made him, given him a little bit better of a contract. 5.6 seems relatively cheap. But Buffalo, after that trade, shipping off Ryan O'Reilly, we play against them and we win 3-2. And so Vancouver, I don't see a chance of us catching Vancouver. I don't. And Vancouver, there you go. They pick up another win. I think for us achieving, 100 points, I'll be happy with in a season. Win against Montreal, and Montreal is 4th. They're trying to fight for a playoff spot in their Atlantic Division. And then Washington. Now, we've definitely created some space against Washington, but they're going to try and get a playoff spot, and we win 3-2, a big win for us. So we're continuing to win. Toronto and Washington making another trade. So it seems like as the trade deadline approaches, teams are starting to make a trade. So the Oilers and the Red Wings have made big waves with their trade. Let's see what happened. Marc-Andre Fleury is on the move, and Bennett in exchange for him. Wow, so this is a pretty interesting trade. This does, actually. Bennett's a great player, and Fleury's a great goaltender, and it works out for both teams. The Washington trade, Washington trying to acquire players, adding some depth. Alex, he has some good stats. I'm actually surprised that they were able to get him for just a second. And then the Hall re-signs with the Oilers for $8 million for a 6-year deal, and then Chicago and Buffalo. So a lot of pieces going for Slater. So the trade deadline is nearing, and you can see these teams starting to become really active, like Washington trying to acquire players, getting rid of their depth, or their picks, I should say, to try and get some depth to make that run. We just beat Chicago. Chicago is 5th in the Central. Winnipeg is 4th. They're trying to make some moves to come into a playoff spot. Can we beat them? We lose 5-3. And we're going to leave it. We'll play... Actually, no, we'll stop. We'll stop the video. We'll stop the video. Okay. Yep, we're going to leave it right here. We're going to leave it right here just to give you guys an update of where we are. In the playoffs, we are right where we want to be. We're 1st in our division. We're 3rd in the conference. We're definitely looking to have a playoff spot, barring any colossal collapse by us. The stats, the team stats, let's check. Actually, let's just check. Where is it? Okay. So goals, we are 1st. Goals against, we're 15th. So we're middle of the road. We still give up the most shots. We take the most penalties per game. We're 3rd in the power play and 26th in the PK. So we can be better. The PK, we can mess with that right now, the way it's looking. We can sort of change it up a little bit. Yeah, we can change up the PK a little bit. And also, I think if we trip the PK, we can also... I think that'll help us in winning more games. But, again, with... how many games left are we in the season? With just about 20 games, actually exactly 20 games, I want to improve the PK. That's the big goal for me. But other than that, man, I think we can beat anyone in the NHL. The only team that really scares me is Vancouver. Vancouver has been playing out of their minds, and look at this team. I mean, they have it all, and it started with that trade. Do they still have him? And they still have Sedin. It started with that play for Jamie Benn. They got Jamie Benn, and they've made some moves, and look at their team. I mean, it's amazing. So, Vancouver is playing in another realm, but we wouldn't have to face them until the Stanley Cup, so I'm not really too concerned. So, let me know, guys, about the trades, the trade deadline, if I should make a move at the deadline. I say no. I think give this team one more shot. This team probably has one more shot at a Stanley Cup, and then we probably will have to look at readjusting some things. But let me know. Hope you guys enjoy the video, and I am Sully, and I'll see you in the next video.